All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Right here, if you have a beard, random men are going to always walk up to you and try to lick your beard.
Ew, that's so disgusting. Oh.
You're one of Mitten's kittens.
Hold on, so I'm like, nope. Oh, well, you lost all your fleets.
Oh, fuck. Not what we intended. Oh, God. What do we do?
The Meta Show.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that ad.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Meta Show on this awesome Saturday. I've been looking forward to this Meta Show all week. As soon as I found out the guests for this, I've been kind of giddy because it's going to be an awesome show. So, guys, as you can see on the screen, we have the Mittani, the Emperor himself, Max Singularity, and CCP Falcon, the true Emperor. Sorry. We'll have to do his full intro later. You're the best at it, Mittens, so I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is now the time? Are we going to do it?
Yeah, go for it, and then okay. we'll push through. Let him introduce himself.
I am delighted to introduce the true Emperor, not the false Empress. The true Emperor, Maximilian Singularity, the sixth, first of his name, his divine presence. He has graced us with it today, and we are all in awe that we have him here. So awesome, wonderful, Max. It's great to have him.
Thank you so much.
My
name is Charles White, and you can find me out on the Facebook group. And when I'm out of character, I smile. So when I'm playing Max,
I'm always serious all the time.
Yeah, serious. So there's no chance in hell I'll be able to role play through this whole show. We've just been laughing during the pre-show, and we've been laughing at FanFest, and we've been laughing on Facebook, the whole thing.
It's excellent, actually, because I'm glad that we are going to abbreviate, because if I have to call you Maximilian, the true Emperor Maximilian Singularity, the sixth first of his name, His Holiness, or His Divine Presence, it'll get a little bit awkward. We'll basically have like 15 minutes.
I think I probably would have.
Your Holiness or Max is just fine.
Your Holiness. Excellent.
And it's really funny because I did not create these titles. That's the trippy part of it. I started creating some internet memes. I first met Alex in Los Angeles, and he's like, "Man, your Facebook posts are terrible." And I was like, "Yes."
They are awful. They are really bad.
So I came up with a bunch of memes, and then I started doing a YouTube video where I did call it Max's Sunday Sermon. And with Max's Sunday Sermon, the first video I did was the horror, which was Apocalypse Now speech from Colonel Kilgore. It was horrible. The audio was all screwed up. You could hear my cat walking in the background. But then the players of the Eve Facebook group said, we dubbed thee the Harbinger of Faith. And another guy said, you are the Pope of New Eden. And I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, because I had this costume made by a friend of mine, Wishpool, who makes costumes for dancing girls at the clubs.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
can
so
you
I
dance? Can you do a dance like a dancing girl on live TV?
There we go.
That's all we get.
Yeah. So when we only had like 2 months before FanFest, when everybody gave me these titles, and I ran to him and I said, okay, top secret, we have 2 months to make a Pope outfit, and we're going to surprise it on everybody at FanFest. And the story, I wore this the first day at FanFest, and they had a cosplay contest, which some very heavy prizes. I mean, I won 20 Plex. I won 2 of the collector's editions. I won some keyboards, some headsets. It was pretty heavy prizes. And on the second day I unveiled the Pope costume. And the funniest story was I was walking from my hotel to the convention center, which was about a half mile away. And an Icelandic police car rolls down their window. And they were like, do you need a ride or an escort? Because it was freezing cold, wind is blowing, my vestments are all up in the air. And I was like, I'm in a foreign country. I've been asked to get into a police car voluntarily. No.
You're from America, right? You're like, what is this? Like, why are cops trying to help me? I don't get it.
I don't know the religious.
This is a trap.
connotations. Yeah, so
I'll take the freezing cold rain for 100, please.
And I love the Icelandic people. I know no harm could come, but I know these are also the same people that make Eve. So, and they make these videos about this little girl in a field that eats people or something. So, and they're Vikings. So I was like, no, I'm going to the convention center, and they said, oh, you're going to the Eve thing? I said, yeah, my parishioners are there.
Oh my, that's amazing. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. We should probably go ahead and before we dive into.
Wait. Lean away from your mic just a little bit.
What's that? Am I?
Oh, thank you. For your mic is picking up everything and it's reverbing if you get too close.
Oh God, let me try to turn the volume down a little bit.
The volume knob on the front is actually for a headset.
Down the
so
turn
there
it
we go.
down.
I'll teach you how to Blue Yeti later. But like you're saying, or I think you're trying to get too far. I stopped you for the mic issue. The giveaways for today. Those of you who've been paying attention to Twitter and the Eve dev stuff, there's been a change in rules for the giveaways regarding subscribers. Guys, we will be still doing our normal giveaways. We will also be doing our subscriber giveaways, just a little bit different. We're going to be giving out-of-game prizes only for the subscriber-only giveaways. So today, guys, we're going to be giving away 5 codes for the Pirate Rookie Frigates. And once you get one of these codes, you will be able to redeem it and choose the frigate of your choosing. Or not frigate, rookie ship of your choosing. And then we also have an Art of New Eden book and a 10th anniversary collector's edition of Eve, the giveaway. CCP Falcon, would you like to tell us a little bit about these policy changes and just kind of...
And we should also give him a chance to actually introduce himself before we go far down the road.
I was just like completely starstruck by the, being sat in the divine presence of the Pope.
Of His Holiness, absolutely.
Yeah, his Holiness, just, I just felt this column of light. I can't even describe it. If anyone shitposts on the forums, I suppose they know me pretty well. I'm CCP Falcon. I'm the EV Universe Community Manager for CCP, so I deal with running the Eve and Dust and soon the Valkyrie community team as well. So I keep those guys in line, and we all have a whale of a time watching the shenanigans you guys get up to. So these policy changes. So at the start of the year, we had a couple of people come to us with a few concerns about streaming in general. When we're talking about sort of giveaways and what people are doing to promote their streams. And the primary thing that people were concerned about was the fact that some people were being given in-game items or the chance to win in-game items that were a little bit more prolific or they were a little bit more expensive after they were subscribing for real money to a stream rather than just being free. So we've just kind of updated the policy because there was some worries about RMT, and you know what the community's like when it comes to RMT. The pitchforks come out, the torches come out, and they're trying to hang people from the rafters as soon as you get a whiff of the worst 3 letters in the alphabet. So we basically just updated the policy to say, okay, if you guys are going to give in-game stuff away, then there has to be parity and it has to be equal between everyone. So whether someone is a subscriber, whether someone is a follower, the value for everything given away has to be equal, and it has to be shared amongst everyone. There can't be any sort of premium stuff in-game for subscribers who pay real money. On the flip side of this, however, real-world stuff, knock yourselves out. If you want to give away a Lamborghini for subscribers, feel free to do so. But, the out-of-game stuff like the Art of New Eden books, Eve Source, the Collector's Edition, that kind of thing, we've got no problem with it at all. It's just a matter of keeping the in-game stuff totally disconnected from any real-world payments. And we're all good. So, it's pretty simple.
So when is this policy going into effect?
This policy goes into effect effective from July 1st, but I've noticed that quite a few more streamers they've already started to, they've kind of knocked in line with the policy already just to get it out of the way, and it's much appreciated. We're very happy that people have listened. And it's super cool. It's good to see people adapting.
So, guys, July 1st is when this goes into effect. So, today, guys, our subscribers only will be giving away 10 Titans.
Sons of bitches.
Thanks for clarifying CCP Falcon on the stream for our last
Make it rain as fast as we can. Yeah,
we're emptying the coffers, guys.
It is actually so. Sorry about the microphone issue, guys. It turned out that my webcam was it was the webcam mic, not the headphones. So we think we've got that sorted out.
Yeah,
it was also really interesting to see His Holiness petting his Fedo. That was a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really sure whether that's a crab or a I don't even know. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a baby. It's a baby Fedo. Yeah, because they get much larger, and it's a male. People get confused. They think it's a female. I don't know why.
I couldn't possibly pick one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a male. It is a male.
Wow.
A Fedo has no eyes and it has no ears, so it can't hear and it can't see. But it uses this elaborate mouth. Yeah, it's a mouth and a nose because it sniffs.
Is this like it looks like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, more Geiger really. You actually carry them around like this, and they're on their back, and they're quite docile. You see, that doesn't move at all. You can rub its belly, but you got to watch its mouth, because if you carry it around on its mouth, it's okay for a while, but then it starts to burn.
Oh, Jesus.
We have to get a YouTube clip of him just holding that up to the screen. That's all I've got.
This is all recorded. I mean, maybe for the next Meta Show intro. That's
actually, we need that in the montage. We need to have His Holiness shoving a space crab's mouth.
Yeah, and I see,
which are totally.
Everyone has found the new emote, that our new sub emote, the rip tombstone with the beard, but they're using it in regards to our Twitch channel.
Because now there's basically like space crab porn or something taking place here. But no, that's just a mouth, guys. It's totally.
It's just a mouth. Yeah. It's a male. That's a male Fedo.
Well, and speaking of sub emotes and new subscribers, Mutecun, thank you so much for the sub, man. Thanks for the support. Hopefully that $5 won't go to our band channel as of the last 5 minutes. But yeah.
I think the boat show is leaking, guys, because we have the boat show. Instead of having we're going to go into the undead zone after this, and then it's the boat show. But it seems like the boat's power is on the undead zone to make us crack up and not really be able to.
Maybe it's
stick
a competition.
It's kind of like leaking through osmosis into this.
It's a competition of who can get the Twitch channel banned first.
Right. So now that we've had a chance to clarify the subscriber policy, which is actually quite interesting, there's been a number of blogs posted by people like Nosy Gamer or Funky Bacon discussing this over the last couple weeks. We are giving away a collector's edition, we're giving away a limited edition Art of New Eden, and we're giving away 5 of the Pirate Rookie ships. And before we go far back into serious role-playing, I wanted to have a chance to ask Falcon, who used to be known as Verone, an infamous CEO of a low-sec PvP corporation, what his own views of the Pirate Rookie ships were, and if he had a favorite, because you get to choose. If you get the code, you can pick one of 5 when you cash it in.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I've always played as a Garistas loyalist, but out of the rookie frigates, I actually love the Echo the most. It looks the best, and I've messed around. I've done some low-level missions with it. I've had a little bit of fun with it. I mean, it doesn't tank for anything, but it's not too bad. You can kind of sort of DPS fit it a little bit. So yeah, it's if you kite with it and you just use it as like a kind of just like bit of a suicide ship, then it works. And it also looks kick-ass too. So yeah, I go for the Echo every time.
Now, is that the Angel one?
Yeah, it is. That's the Angel Cartel.
Oh wow, yeah, that is actually a really good-looking one. That's quite impressive. Okay, so yeah. The Echo, the Hematos, the Immolator, the Taipan, and the Violator are all the ships that you can get from this. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we dive right into the next thing, Laz? Where are we going? Take us away.
Well, I think we should talk a little bit about Max. I mean, we just had Burnhamar, and we're going to have hopefully some Providence soon. So I think let's start off with some Burnhamar action.
Okay.
So Max, what do you think about Burnhamar? How do you feel about it?
Well. I really got to praise the Imperium. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
There we go. There's the Pope hat of the.
We just got blessed, boys.
Yeah,
Kiss the ring.
is oddly familiar to the Takati logo for some reason.
That's where we stole it from, actually.
We're sponsored by Takati.
I would be delighted to have that kind of a giveaway.
The Amar Revolution sponsored by Takati. Well, you know, I'm shocked and appalled. Okay, hold on. Max never smiled. Okay. I am shocked and appalled that Jamil Sorum, through a historic attack upon the commerce and trade within the empire, within our homeworld, within Amar Prime, has not uttered a single word. Her lack of presence has been so noted on several occasions, even by the scope. This is a critical time in our history. We need leadership. It needs to come now. I call upon all the great houses, even House Sorum, to rein in their errant child and bring forth change. It's time.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
We need a vote for Max logo.
I would say vote, but you know, he is the divine representative here on this plane, and so this simply goes to show it's further evidence that Maximilian Singularity the Sixth, first of his name, is in fact the true emperor, which is why he has the full and unflinching support of the Imperium. We are proud to be among the first to bend the knee and acknowledge his righteous path.
And, you know, a lot of people have been saying it's really funny because, you know, as soon as the photo happened, the most shocking photo from FanFest occurred.
Wait, which photo was that?
It was the one where the Mittani, and I had to go put on the ring. So, yeah. So,
that's excellent. There you go.
There it is.
Kiss the ring. Oh, you actually have an Amar one. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that is the one. So there's the 4 diamonds that one for each.
Everybody just kind of lean in and kiss the screen.
Yeah. There's 4 diamonds, one's for each of the races: Minmatar, Caldari, Galenti, and Amar. So when you say we're the first, that's true, because what I've been promoting, this idea of we are the 6th empire rising, because there's 5 empires, including the Jove, which is the 5th. But we Capsuleers in the outer ring and within High-Sec and Null-Sec, Jamel Sorum used the word Imperium. And Imperium is actually a very nice word, but the way she used it in the video was kind of like an epithet. You know, the Imperiums are... And it's like, we're the Capsuleers, you know, we're immortal, and it's our responsibility to conduct war and fight for resources and power. So this is kind of weird. This whole 6th Empire thing is something that you don't need to get along. It's an anti-organization. It is people who fight with each other because it's the fighting that makes us stronger. So the Imperium, Nulli Secunda, X-Death, NC Dot, all those entities all together are de facto members of the 6th Empire because we're Capsuleers. Whether you're recognized or not, that's different. But it's kind of an interstellar fight club.
That sounds like a pretty good description of Eve, actually.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Interstellar Fight Club. That is possibly one of the best descriptions of Eve I've heard in years.
That's gonna catch on.
That's the 6th Empire is promoting, and you know, because the 4 races are greedy, Caldari, infighting, Minmatar, immoral, Galenti, and corrupt, which is Amar. There's been,
but not for long. The Amar will not be corrupt soon, because then everyone is going to be having the true emperor who will show them the light.
Yes, and we need to disavow the current form of slavery. And it's really funny. What you guys have done to me is.
Is this my fault? Is this our fault? What's going on?
This is kind of like Batman and the Joker, where it's like, you made me, I made you.
That face was
You're so good at it, though.
I've had to research all the etiquette about being a pope, like, you know, it's his holiness. you
The
know,
struggle is real. It's hard.
you
out
never
there.
introduce the Pope to somebody. You always introduce them to the Pope. And it's like, oh, geez, criminy, I don't know. And I found out there's, oh, crap. Okay, I got to take a sidetrack. In doing my research, I found out there's this thing called the anti-popes, which is the Catholic term. But there's actually 3 popes on planet Earth right now. So the first pope has a billion-ish members, and we all know who he is. The second pope has about 40,000 members, and the third pope is in Spain, and he has about 17,000, and they're on the second generation of their pope, and they broke away, and so they have from the Catholic Church, but they're still Catholic, so they installed their own pope. That's number 3 guy. The number 2 guy, oh yeah, that's me. I have 40,000 from the Imperium.
Oh,
and
that's right. Yeah, that's true.
Like, out of 3 popes,
Wow.
I'm number 2.
We can literally out-pope and anti-pope in the real world just from EVE Online. That's
Eve is real.
That's terrifying.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. So we can literally promote you as the space pope who is on this Earth in
On
the real
this Earth.
world. You will be the second most followed pope.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm good with it.
That is pretty good.
Wow.
Well, and for a quick sidetrack, just want to give a shout out before we forgot to the Catfish Billy for the sub, man. Thank you so much for the support. And like still talking about Burnham Mar, what is CCP's view on it as a community guy, CCP Falcon? Like how do you guys see it, and as a former player, I guess for yourself as well?
Well, it's a playground. You guys make the content. Whether that content is blowing the ever-living shit out of each other or building and creating, it's entirely up to you guys. We're just there to enforce the very, very loose rule set that we do have. Personally, I think events like Burn Amar, Burn Jita, I think they're fantastic. Obviously, it bends some people out of shape because they can't move freight around or whatever for a week or so when there's something like this going on. But hey, it's a risk you take every time you undock. I don't think we should be in a position where we can turn around and say, you guys really can't do this. It disrupts people's trading and it disrupts people's mining. It's just, it's one of those things. It's part of a merchant gameplay, and I just don't think we'd be in our rights to stop it, and I don't think there's anyone at the company who would really, really want to, because it's part of the history of EVE. It's part of the story. It's what makes the game what it is.
Well, and with the story and history of EVE and how the players have the sandbox to kind of shape as they will, do you see the storyline in regards to Maximilian and Jamil? Like, do the players have an effect on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, what we've got going on right now with storyline, players have had quite a bit of effect on it. I mean, it's what's going on right now with Concord and Hillam Tukos and a group of players from Ikami. That's kind of what we're trying to aim for, where players kind of throw a curveball at us and we just react to it. How far that reaction goes and how far the ripples go, I suppose, really depends on, sort of the plans that we have for storyline, the plans that we have for EVE in general, and how much we can sort of shape them based on what players are doing in the game. But I mean, from my point of view, in terms of, what's going to happen when the new subsystem hits, I cannot wait to see the chaos that's going to unfold in Providence. I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Amarians at present, so I can't wait to see shit start to explode. I think it's going to be wonderful. And maybe those ripples will be big enough and profound enough for things to change, or maybe it'll put us in a position where you guys will have to work a little bit harder. We'll see. But either way, I know that there's kind of a group of us right now at CCP working on storyline. There's myself, CCP Affinity, and CCP Delegate Zero, and a few other people in development who are really kind of trying to put a bit of backstory behind their features. And what we're trying to do is just make what's going on with storyline right now just as dynamic and reactive as possible for players. And it's a hell of a lot of work, but like the reward that we see from it and the curveballs you throw at us and basically the shit you guys drop us in at times is absolutely fantastic. And it's just like, I'll come in and I'll check the emails that some of the faction contacts get, and I'll be like, those sons of bitches, oh, what am I going to do? And I spend like 30 minutes with my head in my hands at my desk, just like, fuck. And then I've got to go and talk to Affinity, go and talk to Delegate Zero, and we're all just like, oh my god, these people. And then we like come up with a plan between us, and we work it out, and it somehow it all comes together and it's all good. But that's part of the awesome thing about doing community work at CCP is that it's always challenging. So yeah, I'm just interested to see what players throw at us. And I think it's going to be a hell of a laugh either way.
I am pretty curious to see. I mean, what is it? We've had the Drifters going into Amar Prime as of just a couple days ago. What's the story with that? Speaking of,
that was actually where is my clock? That was actually 4 hours ago.
right?
That in excess of 100 Drifters decided to make an appearance at the CVA 12th anniversary event, and there were, I'm not going to lie, there were a few deaths. These
As
things
there
happen.
should be.
But you know, we wanted to see what happened. It was a nice live test. CCP Affinity, being the evil woman she is, was very, very excited to see how players would react. So we had myself, Affinity, Delegate Zero, and CCP Paradox all went in today, and we just we had a little bit of a fool around, and we just basically did a little bit of a live test to see how the server would react with so many drifters on grid. And we had a really, really fun time watching players explode and get exploded and blow stuff up. So yeah, it was good fun. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of follow-up news tomorrow or maybe on Monday. We'll see how it goes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
this is something, the direction CCP is going is absolutely heartening to me. When they named Caroline Starr after a player, this was a clear signal that, that this is a player participative game. And when Hilmar stood on the stage, Cardinal Hilmar, if you see his Facebook, he's in a Mar robe. So when Cardinal Hilmar stood on the stage and said, there is no more Manifest Destiny, which I know CCP had some very long-range plans, but as you heard from Falcon, they're currently rewriting a lot of this stuff. So that was a signal. And when he said the Capsuleers will shape the events of New Eden, it was like, Jamel's got to go down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. She's got.
This ends now.
I see the signals, and there's some weird witchcraft. The Saramites are out there so brainwashed into like she's a godhead, and it's like, no, she's going down. And in lore, they've brought down emperors before. So it's not out. Funny thing, while I think of it, there was a guy on the forums who was like, Max, you're stupid. You're wasting internet pixels and time because you can never fight an NPC. It's like a fan of going to a Batman movie, yelling to Batman on the screen. You can't fight with NPCs. They're non-player characters. Well, I wrote
Tell that to Tybus Half.
Exactly. I wrote an open letter on to the Concord of what is their relationship to the Drifters. And I didn't expect a response. It was just an open letter, something you play on Intergalactic Summit. And lo and behold, the head of DED wrote me an email and responded. I was like, this is the third greatest gaming event. An NPC just wrote me. I could not believe it. It was like, I'm actually talking. This is a whole new weird game going on now. So my wife is like, haven't you logged in anymore? I'm like, no, I'm metagaming. It's
Welcome to my world. It's a lot of fun over here.
I understand.
I don't remember my password. What are you talking about?
No, and metagaming, it's like it's really interesting. So getting that interaction with CCP, it's like keep going with it. It's really fun. It's like I'm trying to think of new curveballs to throw at you guys.
I'm sure we'll come up with some. I mean, I'm excited to see. A lot of us have been looking forward to Fozisov to go to Pravi, and I want to, as we get closer to that day, which will hypothetically be July 14th. I do want to clarify for people who are residents in Pravi, we do not want to actually glass Providence, or at least at the moment we currently think we don't want to glass Pravi.
That's so fun.
The idea is all that you have to do is acknowledge the true emperor. All it takes is to bend the knee and kiss the ring, and if I can do it, see, all you would have to do now is lean over and kiss your computer screen, kiss the ring, bend the knee.
Oh, we should have Have people take pictures of themselves doing it.
Absolutely. Have everybody
Yes.
post photos of themselves, kissing their computer screen when he's holding out the ring. In fact, you can have a sort of a distributed, scalable ceremony. We'll make a YouTube clip of the true Emperor Maximilian Singularity, the sixth, first of his name, displaying the ring, and then everybody can, on their own, in their little space capsules, bend over it and kiss the electronic representation of it. So, anyway.
Wait a minute. Let me change fingers on it because I had it on my middle finger. And
there's an etiquette thing, right? Okay.
Yeah,
the appropriate clip there you go.
Yeah.
Now you at home can bend the knee and kiss the ring and
we
swear
need to...
fealty to Maximilian Singularity, the sixth, first of his name, the true emperor, because Jamel is going down. So
she's got to go down.
We'll have to screenshot it and post a picture, and then have people tweet us at the Mittani com to share their photos.
Just hashtag kiss the ring.
Yes.
So, but, I mean,
if we have time on the show, let me tell you the story of the ring because it's one ring to love them all.
Awesome.
All right.
So what we're going to do with Pravi probably is we are not looking to really... I mean, Pravi has this really energetic, awesome role-playing community, and as you can see now, the CCP and the community team is interfacing. There's more of a focus on lore. That aspect of the metagaming is becoming much more dynamic. So we don't want to just wreck that or turn it into a renter field. What we do want to do is shoot everyone involved until they bend the knee and kiss the ring. So when we go into Pravi, if everybody just swears fealty to the true Emperor Maximilian Singularity, the sixth, first of his name, then we'll do a victory lap and probably burn a Morrigan or something like that. But I expect that there will be some Ceramites that will have to die over and over and over again until they get the message. And once that's done, and Pravi is the wholly owned domain of the true Emperor, then our work will be done briefly.
Yeah, and Providence is like any other nullsec region in EVE game-wise from CCP, but there is one thing that's different about Providence in that the players have created an institution which is not red, don't shoot. And a lot of people have actually talked to me that they want a reset. And so of not red, don't shoot, because some people feel like it was handled unfairly. And I'm neutral about this. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I'm just sharing with you what was frustrations sent. So if this was a military operation, we would not tell you we're invading. Like Pearl Harbor, we're coming in December 7th, set your clocks. This is a warning, to CVA and to them that, you guys, if you can, we're going to have some fun there. We're going to, you've been brainwashed by some witchcraft that, out of game, we know that Jamel has the other inner brain and she can control your minds. In game, we don't know that. So in game, you've been brainwashed somehow, and we're coming to liberate you and free you. We come in peace, and we come in love. And by love, I mean lasers.
We're getting so many good quotes. So many good quotes this show.
This is gonna be so much fun because we're just gonna constantly, like, you've got this down so well. Like, I'm really impressed. You've been doing your homework here, so that's great. I mean, we can. Wow. I'm all pumped now. I'm all excited.
How can you argue with it? It's
you can't.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's clearly got the sort of gravitas that you need to be the true emperor. And we, as he's pointed out earlier in the show, we have seen no real statements or anything from this Jamel woman, the false empress, and so that will be that. It's going to be really awesome. I can't wait.
And on the note of not seeing statements and stuff like that, there wasn't a new scope video this week. Do we know, CCP Falcon? I don't know if you know why there was no scope on Friday. No.
It was all a player's fault.
Wow! Wow! It just came right out.
If you see a guy called Lucas Raholan in game, he's hopefully going to have a big bounty on him in the next couple of days because he was a bad man and he annoyed Concord, and thus he must die many times.
So there's got to be a story behind this. I mean, I'm pretty curious.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of a story behind it. So it goes way back to a project called Erechelon, which is a role-playing project that involves sort of community contributions to a big repository of information about wormhole space. And there's a guy running it, an NPC character called Hillen Tukos, and he was recently found dead in wormhole space after being missing for almost 2.5, 3 years. And this wonderful gentleman, a Marian gentleman by the name of Lucas Raholan, decided that he was going to steal this guy's dead parts, basically. And Concord didn't take too kindly to this because they wanted to recover him and make sure that they could identify him and close their investigation. So this guy's buggered off to Thera or wormhole space somewhere with all these, rotten pieces of dead body in his cargo hold. And he's out there, and basically Concord are very angry and they want stuff back. And the Scope's been covering this on and off for a few weeks, so there was no Scope video this week because they've turned all the recently acquired footage over to Concord for their investigation to try and find Lucas Raholan.
Wait a minute. There's also the Free the Scope campaign going on right now too.
Free the Scope.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 individuals who were arrested have now been released, so we're all good in that respect.
Okay.
But they decided, under advisement from Concord this week, not to broadcast after all their footage was handed over to the DED for the investigation. So no Scope video this week. CCP Loki gets to actually have a few hours to sleep and recharge his batteries. And then next week we'll resume regular broadcasting again.
Cool.
That's excellent.
That
was a very complicated, very interesting, in-game explanation.
I was not expecting that at all. I was feeling, shit happens.
This was like the super 1% abridged version of a story that's been going on for like 4 years. But yeah, it's like, it is ridiculous.
And Loki needed a weekend off.
Yeah.
That's amazing. One of the other things that is amazing about this actually is that out in nullsec we crap on role playing all the time. Like, at least that used to be the culture, as we would mock, the role players in Providence, this, that, the other thing. But one, this is a hell of a lot of fun. Like, this is one of the more entertaining shows that we've had, just going back and forth with this and having Maximilian Singularity the Sixth, first of his name, the true emperor, deigning to grace us with his presence, hearing these explanations, and our users, we have a tremendous number of people watching the show, instead of rolling their eyes and saying, ooh, role-playing Space Pope, screw this. We haven't even really scratched the surface of any of the meta and politics that's going on in EVE. So it really is nice, I think, to see CCP reaching out to the players, engaging with the players with the scope and with the in-game role-playing and adapting the events and the canon of the game to what the players do, because you can see that the engagement level has just increased massively from the viewers and from the player base.
And I want to add to that the nullsec players, and I'm aware of that because I am a nullsec player too, and I was aware of the dissing on the roleplay, and what the nullsec players didn't realize is that you're role playing. You're already role playing because there's a whole Dark Horse comic book about
some jerk.
How Bob took how Goonswarm took over Bob, and every time you undock and you go out to a major battle like BTAC-R, these are giant events, and you're actually role-playing as well. You're not actually making speeches, and you're not writing walls of text on IGS.
Unless you're Jade Constantine.
Wow. It's like, wall. Wall of text. But nullsec players are role playing. They're all part of the struggle and the whole landscape of EVE. So it's really easy. Just take your character and create a backstory. There's a lot of non-typical events going. There's Galenti slaves in Minmatar. It's like that ain't part of lore, but the universe is a screwed up place, and there's a lot of weird stories that are going on. And so all you do is write a small backstory of your character, and if you stop there, you're done. If you have a tailor make a Marian High Admiral, and your wife is bringing you prescription medicines to try to save your sanity, that might.
The honesty is refreshing.
Yeah, yeah, that's that.
All right.
But yeah,
circles inside circles.
Nullsec has been role playing for a long time. They're just lying to themselves if they believe they're not.
I've linked in channel actually Carneros, the leader of the Bastion, had handed me from his Twitter the original infamous photo of a certain jerk in a red shirt bending the knee and kissing the ring and acknowledging the superiority of the Maximilian Singularity, the sixth first of his name, the true emperor. I'm getting really good at saying it quickly.
Yeah, you've got that down now. It's really good. It's nice.
And darn you, after you did, I did like 3 or 4 of those blessings, I call them. So I did 3 or 4 of the blessings before the one you did. When you did that, times 10, I did 30 blessings. CSM, CCP devs. People couldn't see on live stage, but CCP Siegel, also been.
Oh yeah, there are photographs of that. There are definitely photographs of that.
That's amazing. Well, actually, Your Holiness, with your divine presence here, would you be so kind as to please bless our humble viewers of this meager meta show with your grace?
To all the capsuleers of New Eden, to all the capsuleers of the meta show, to all the capsuleers of the Imperium First Nation recognized, to all the capsuleers of all the alliances, you have my blessings. We are entering an age of darkness. A storm is upon us. The storm that has been foretold by so many generations, by so many monks, by so many people of all the races. Look into the Galenti Titan description. It talks of the storm. In its wake, there shall be us, for we shall remain. Bless you, and bless you all.
All right, we're done. Closing the stream. Good game. Done.
Yeah. I was trying to hold a straight face doing the whole I got nothing. That happened.
It's so hard for me to hold that straight face. I'm like, okay, this is my thing.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
This is the reason that I am a portrait.
Yeah, it's easier to keep a straight face when you're just I need to get a flask in the future for when I do one of those shows. After that, whew,
Well,
that's amazing.
And moving a little bit outside of Mar and Pravi and the Drifters, and into, I guess, some 0-0 stuff, some nullsec stuff. Brave Alliance, they had some big stuff happen over the past week. They had two fights on Friday. One where they lost the CSA, which had I believe a supercarrier building, and then they saved the second CSA. And then I believe, Mittani, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about some of the internal stuff going on with their top level.
I guess we can get into some actual, from role playing and all this heavy lore focus, we can get into some actual meta on the, oh my god, he's going to be stroking the feta the entire time through this. Okay.
Just don't watch the stream.
God, I gotta try to get into the actual Mittani box here to do.
Oh god.
Oh god, the undead zone is leaking. This is turning into a crack up. Okay, so
I'm never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna.
Wow, we're getting rickrolled on the meta show
by the Space Pope, the second most powerful pope on this planet, which is also kind of terrifying when you think about it.
Jesus.
Okay, so let's talk about Brave. Oh man.
This is
right.
Remember the undead zone last week where we should have stopped at 40 minutes?
And
we're getting to that point.
Relentlessly giggled. Okay, so let's get on to the Brave thing. So this has actually been pretty significant because, in terms of EVE politics, Brave has been loudly waving the banner of being the best Navy organization in EVE, which is something that many other organizations might have an issue with in terms of either EVE University or Pandemic Horde or Karma Fleet or Red versus Blue or Goon Fleet itself. Or there's many newbie orgs in the world in New Eden. Brave has been racked by internal strife, conflicts between the council, their leader, Lichten Krondor, have had a whole bunch of alleged coup attempts. There has been a sort of a massive brain drain to these other organizations, and all this kind of exploded into drama last week, where there was a move. Basically, Brave lost catch. They got headshot. They had all their stuff in a staging system. It was kind of a disaster a couple months ago. The Imperium dropped the mic and duck walked out of Fountain and Delve and basically the entirety of the Southwest and said, whatever, you guys can have it, we're out. And at the time, Hero Coalition, which Brave is a part of, was run by June Ting, who is not actually the leader of Brave, but was the leader of Sound Mind Alliance. And under her administration, they negotiated a deal for space and Fountain with the Imperium, and that's why you ended up with this plant of a bit of Brave and a bit of Black Legion holding Sov and Fountain. Then June Ting stepped down or went away, or got sick of it or whatever, and Licton took back over as Alliance leader, and promptly everything went to hell in a handbasket. He announced a deployment to Duality while they were under attack by Black Legion and Fountain to fight to get their Alliance name on an Entosis Link meta module or something, because reasons. I got nothing. Anyway, all this stuff exploded. There was a State of the Alliance address on SoundCloud, which was a little bit poorly done, and then there was just an insane spiral of drama that came out of it. And as of a couple days ago, they have finally, in theory, disbanded their council. Brave has always been hamstrung by this council democracy or pseudo-democracy council system where there's no real accountability and nobody really knows who's in charge of everything. And the bureaucracy, there's no communication from the leadership, kind of like callback Jamal Serum. No communication from the leadership except for the odd mess. So it's interesting to watch. We'll have to see whether the removal of the council results in better leadership and sort of them finding themselves. But it has been a rollicking disaster area for the last week. And then this sort of culminated in a couple of ops. Laz, do you want to actually talk about the Supercap, the SCSA ops that happened in the last couple of days?
Nothing too big happened. I mean, they lost a lot of capital on both sides. And like in the first op, they actually had a big brawl on the gate. And this was yesterday morning. They had a big brawl on the gate. Then as the fight was moving off the gate, Black Legion actually dropped suicide dreads onto the tower and killed the tower, and Brave kind of fail tackled quite a bit, and I think they got almost everything out besides maybe 4 or 5 capitals. I don't remember the exact numbers, but like literally they moonwalked out with most of their cap fleet that they suicide dropped on this tower. So later that night, the second CSA came out of reinforce, which the first one died, so the second one came out of reinforce, and Brave was able to save that one with only losing I think 5 carriers on the tower itself. And then as Black Legion was running away from the fight to get away from the massive outnumbered fleet that was chasing them, they ended up having a brawl a couple jumps away where I think about 90 bill total was lost in that fight.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, going on in TN-T, Lethal Intent was having a brawl with SMA and NC Dot and OSS, when the Imperium dropped a super capital fleet in the middle of the fight and kind of ended it.
We're such dicks.
Yeah, we got a few dread and carrier kills out of it, but we kind of ruined that.
But yeah, it is an interesting time because, I mean, in this case, Brave at least learned from the mistake of, their staging in a system that is in an NPC fountain. So, like, they can't lose their staging system. Mm-hmm. But, the organization has existed for 2 years, right? Like, you can't really continue to retain talent. I mean, basically, what's happened, speaking frankly about this now, like, there's no reason for me to, I mean, if you want to think that this is spin zone stuff, go ahead. But you can see that there's been a tipping point with these organizations that are sort of Brave factions, like former Brave factions, like the Pandemic Horde, Karma Fleet, other entities, basically saying, look, you guys are actually kind of, if your organization doesn't fix itself, you're kind of misleading new players. People come into EVE and they say, oh, Brave newbies, and they get in there and it's just a sort of a disastrous shit show. And then, it's just sort of bad. It either needs to be fixed such that the new players who join that organization actually have fun and get some wins, because being a newbie is not about losing. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a thing that we saw in Licton's SoundCloud that actually kind of pissed me off. Goonfleet started as a bunch of newbies and rifters, and we burned the fucking galaxy down. It took a lot of work, It took a lot of metagaming. It took a lot of grit. But just because you're a newbie or you're a newbie-based organization doesn't mean that you have to be proud to be bad or proud to lose or we're just going to undock and lose, because that's not EVE. I mean, if people lose over and over and over again, they quit. I mean, there's an easy layup for a joke about M3. There you go. There's your spin zone. That's a little old school. If you lose, you eventually disband or what have you. But just because you have a newbie organization does not mean that you are doomed to undock, get farmed, repeat the process, and say, "Oh, it's okay, guys, that's EVE." Because it's not. There's a bunch of newbie organizations not in Goonswarm. There is Karma Fleet and Goonswarm. There's of course Gunwafa, but Pandemic Horde, all these others that you can join as a newbie in EVE Online and achieve victory in a meaningful way. And everybody is just eluding themselves in brave newbies who are saying that, oh, well, this is just our lot in life, because it's not. It's your lot in life if you choose to make it that way. And that has to end. And it will end. Either Test is actually, I think, deploying to Fountain to sort of put a sword in brave newbie's heart and just end it finally. We'll see.
Which is funny because they were former allies in the Hero Coalition, the Test was. But before we go on to that, guys, we are starting to get to the end of our time for the show. We have about 8 minutes left, and immediately after following the show, we have the Undead Zone, which is an H1Z1 talk show, much like the Meta Show, with myself, the Mittani, the Big Red Boat, and Space Mexican. So we're going to go ahead and roll into our giveaways, guys, so make sure you're typing in chat within the last 20 minutes. And what we're going to do is, if you're not following the stream, you cannot win, so make sure you follow the stream. Once you win, you need to mail the channel saying you won whichever item we say you won, and we'll send you a code for that. Or if it's an actual real-life item, you'll have to message the stream with your credentials, like name, address, etc.
The real-life items will be subscriber only. That will be our limited edition Art of New Eden book, which is super fancy and awesome. I think there's only like 2001 of them in existence, and CCP is kind enough to... what's that?
There certainly is 2001 of those kitties.
2001, and we have a pile of them, and we're giving away to our loyal subscribers. They are a real-world item, and we even have CCP Falcon here on stream with us while we do a subscriber-only giveaway to remove any potential confusion. But let's start with the newbie ship giveaways, and we also have a collector's edition of EVE Online. Again, thank you so much to CCP for sponsoring TMC and helping us give back to our community.
Exactly. And while we're at it, guys, a shout out to Uranus for the new sub. Thank you so much, man, for the resub. And also Defect a little while ago has 5 months of resub. Appreciate it, man. Really thanks for the support, guys. And make sure we get some emote spam for them. So
let's now make it rain. Let's make it rain on the boys.
Guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in chat, and we'll try to get to them before we run out of time. The first code's going to be going out right now, doing the first roll, and it is going to be Droopsack76, man. Congratulations. You have won a pirate rookie ship code. Just go ahead and message the channel, and we'll get that sent to you. And guys, we're going to roll. Droopsack, man.
I'm glad Caroline Starr wasn't found by Droopsack.
Droopsack.
You know, we had this... Jesus Christ, we had this conversation inside CCP about what would have happened if, like, fucking, like, like, Princess Beef Curtains had found the star. It would have been like...
That's an actual character,
too. Hold the Fedo up there again.
Yeah, there we go. I would have just been like, what the fuck are we going to do, guys? No. It would have been so bad. But, you guys are colorful with your character names at time. I can give you that. It's wonderful. But there was no way we'd be putting that shit.
Wow. I just don't even. Okay.
Wow.
Guys, if you have questions about anything happening in EVE in terms of meta and politics, feel free to lay it on us, and I'll run my mouth while Laz does giveaways. What else? Let's do number 2, Laz.
We're going to. Shout out to shout out Malnor for 8 months of sub. Thank you so much, man. And then Umbra for, I believe, 6 months of subs. And the next giveaway winner is going to be Rum Waffle, who is a sub and a follower. Congratulations, buddy. And you also won a pirate rookie ship. And then we're going to go ahead and roll the next one.
Let's just do it.
Cypher, he's in my corp. Congratulations, buddy. Completely rigged, always rigged, never not rigged.
Cypher with a 3 in his name.
Yes.
For extra hacker cred. That's why it's definitely rigged all the time.
That's how you know he's from AMOC 3. All right, guys, and the next roll is going to be Zrani's. Zrani's won. Congratulations, buddy. You all have also won the Pirate Rookie Ship. Guys, all these codes right now are Pirate Rookie Ships, and once we get to the next items, I will specify the qualifications for that.
Somebody is having a question here about where's the Imperium going to get its content. We always find content because we have agents all across the galaxy. We have some of the best minds in EVE. We're very proud of our boys and our brain trust, and that's why we're able to pop out of wormholes with SIGs that don't exist, burn Amara, burn Jita, and visit Providence. So we will always find content. People will hope, I think, that our content doesn't find them, but we will find our content. So, all right. What's next?
So the next giveaway is Hildifer. Hildifer, and he has won an Astero. You have won the Astero. It is the faction frig. Congratulations, Hildifer.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a good frigate.
It's really good for PvP as well. Like it's a lot of people use it for PvE, but it's a great PvP frigate. A lot of people don't really expose the full potential of it. All right, guys. So I'm going to put the room into sub only real quick. There we go. So subs, go ahead and spam chat, and we'll be giving away first the 10th anniversary collector's edition of EVE Online.
Make sure that you're talking if you want to get a collector's edition of EVE Online. You have to say something in the chat if you're a subscriber. Otherwise, the roll will not work for whatever reason. Yes, and the true Emperor Maximilian Singularity, the 6th first of his name, is in fact showing off the EVE Online second decade collector's edition. This is excellent branding opportunity that we have here.
Yeah, we
love it. So thank you so much to the True Emperor for showing this off, and we're going to go ahead and do this roll in a moment once enough people have had a chance from subs to say something.
Well, my last name is White, so I had to do the Vanna White things.
That is true. That's true. Wheel of Fortune and Space Pope. You have many, many talents, sir. And that's why you are the True Emperor.
All right. We're doing the first roll now for our subs.
And if you've been talking in sub chat, you don't have to spam again after the next giveaway. You will be qualifying for both this and the limited edition Art of New Eden book. Thanks again so much to CCP and CCP Falcon for helping sponsor us and allowing us to give back to our community.
Well, and our first giveaway, sorry for cutting you off there, but our first subscriber giveaway is Corvanox. I really appreciate the sub, guys, and you have won the 10th anniversary collector's edition. And our Corvanox, yep. And the next and final giveaway for today's show, guys, is going to be for the collector's edition Art of New Eden book. And
the limited edition. We gave away the collector's edition. The limited edition. Only 2001 copies of this sucker. It's actually a super awesome book. It's not just a regular Art of New Eden book. It's the fancy, fancy kind.
Yep. And doing the roll right now. And it is Mutekin. Mutekin, who is a new sub today. Congratulations, buddy. For
Mutekin.
For that newbie luck right there.
Excellent. Congratulations, guys. And for those of you who win the completely legal subscriber-only giveaways for physical goods, make sure that when you contact our Twitch channel, you send us a message to the Twitch channel for the Mittani.com and include your actual information, like your name, your address, and all that stuff, so we can send the physical good completely legal to you at your home, and you can get some wonderful fat swag.
All right. So with that, guys, we're out of time. Thank you so much, CCP Falcon and Max Singularity.
Maximilian Singularity, the 6th first of his name, the true Emperor. All hail and praise be unto him.
All right, guys, so coming up now is going to be the Undead Zone, guys. We're going to be going off for about 4 to 5 minutes so we can adjust the webcams, and then we'll be coming back with some H1Z1, and we'll be giving away 2 copies.
And it'll be chaos. It'll be a train wreck.
And we'll give away 2 copies of H1Z1 on that stream. So, guys, we'll see you in just a little bit.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.